Let's see if
Hello,
I'm
welcome
pulling it up
back,
again.
everybody. Hi, I'm
Hello.
Richie Roberts. I am here with Shem Shem Supreme,
Hello.
aka Chub Chub Supreme,
Yes,
which
that's
which
my
is a
Twitch name.
great name. Moonlight
It's like
Sparks,
5 like that.
Hi.
Snuggle Velocity, aka Sonic,
Hello.
and we're going to be starting Volume 8 of Mushoku
Mm-hmm.
Tensei. I almost said Mushoku Tensei Abridged, and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. You can't make me. I
Well,
like
you already have a
if I
lot on
was
your
gonna
plate
shit.
already.
To be fair, if I was gonna shit on another isekai, I would probably do T-bait just to make fun of the animation.
Mm.
Yeah, like literally,
T-bait.
I would do it. And my thing would just be like, "This is not right. This is actually right. This is wrong." They're alluding to something that's actually correct, and like if you were further up, like it would just be that. It would just be like me yelling, "This is bad. This is good. This is bad. This is good." You know, because
There's a
there's
lot of that
so
with that
much of
anime.
that.
It's kind of painful.
Could
Yeah, that
like here's
sounds
here's the thing.
disappointing.
Here's the thing. Oh no, the anime is kind of painful. It's the slideshow
That
after
sucks.
the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You're gonna understand. No, dude,
Oh.
dude, you will understand. You will understand it pretty soon because we're probably gonna start working on reviewing it, or rather going over the manhwa or the comic.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I don't want to call it the manhwa because that derives
It's not a manhwa?
certain things. Well, it's in a
Oh.
manhwa style. It is on tapas, and it is in a manhwa style.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, what you need to know is that the story was created by an American or a Korean American.
Oh, okay.
And the webcomic, which is what I'm calling it, the
Hmm.
artist for the first 6 seasons, which is the main stuff that's on Tapas right now, the artist was from Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
But it's done in like the Korean webcomic manhwa-esque style. So
see.
many people call it manhwa, and I'm like, dude, nobody that worked on this webcomic was pure Korean. Like even the dude that did it is like kind of half and half. He's Korean American. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Any Korean American that goes back to the motherland will tell you it's not the same.
Mm. I mean, I guess it would be the same as like if I was making a manga, it wouldn't be technically like a traditional manga. It would be based on manga style, but it's not like I'm a mangaka from Japan.
And don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm not happy that T-Bait is has got an anime. I'm very happy that the beginning after the end has an anime. What I'm unhappy about is that the animation has proven to be so bad that most fans are like, I'm not watching this. And then most people that react to stuff like this and would actually spread the word about it, and more people would actually find like the webcomic or the novel in our case, because we're going to read it and it's very good. Man, it just hurts that that a story of this caliber is not getting the treatment that it deserves. And we've talked about this. We would have loved it if Studio Bind or Egg, the guys that the people that did season 1 of Mushoku Tensei, if they had animated this. Holy crap. Can you imagine? Because this already gets compared to, like, Mushoku Tensei in the beginning after the end already get compared. Why not do the ironic thing? Let the same studio animate both. Let them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look, as much as people were like, "Oh no, it's a downgraded quality for the animation of season 2 of Mushoku Tensei," it was not much. It was not by much,
notice,
guys.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was not. There was some subtle stuff, but like at the same time, could you imagine, Moon, that same studio working on the beginning after the end? Holy crap.
It would be amazing.
I will say this. I do want to hear the dub because I am so sick of hearing the Japanese mispronounce the names of the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. 100%. Also, just a quick
Is
heads
it getting
up.
a dub?
Yeah. It's being done by Crunchyroll, or it's being put out by Crunchyroll. Yeah, it's getting a dub.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Or it better be. If it's not, I'm going to be really upset because I've
mean,
already been listening
something
to...
happened to the damn dub of fucking whatever it's called.
What?
The show I've been watching.
What show?
Haikyuu.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. Okay, so that wasn't something that was owned by Crunchyroll. That was originally Sentai Filmworks, aka High Dive, and I don't know what happened to the license for that. But this is Crunchyroll complete, so it's like it's going to use the same voice talent because they're basic, because they absorbed Funimation.
Understood.
But yeah, also High Dive took over on dubbing after I think like season 2 had already been released on had finished streaming its season on Crunchyroll. Like I don't know how soon the dub came out, but yeah, there are two companies that were doing the different dubbing with the dub and the sub, and with this one, it's all just Crunchyroll, so probably not gonna be that controversy going on with dub versus sub here. That being said, though, if you've read the audiobooks or you listen to the audiobooks rather, it's a little jarring to hear names and stuff pronounced differently, like Sapin, and then people are going, "Oh, it's called Sapin." No, it's Sapin. It's Sapin, and it's Ephiodus. It's like hearing people call him Jin Woo. Yeah. To be fair, I was one of those people. I have learned.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're literally going to use episode 3 to make a statement about that, and it's not going to be the first. It's not going to be the last.
So just everyone's just going to call him Jin Woo, and there's just going to be a running gag.
Just
Jin Woo.
Just a couple of them are like primarily the last asshole.
and then Moon has to be like Jin Who in response to some of those.
No, Jin.
Oh, hey, it's Jin Woo.
Actually,
Jin Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's gonna be. I think we came up. There's gonna be. I forgot which one. It's either Eric Andre. No. It was the other guy, who's from Korea but is working in the States. He's gonna keep mispronouncing it, and then we're like actually gonna have him be like, okay,
and his brother.
So
and
say my fucking name again.
No, it's his brother. His brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. His brother, the lizard hunters or whatever. That's gonna be in episode 3. So that's gonna be
The guy seeking revenge for his. Okay.
He's like, you know what? And that's gonna be another thing that we will bring back up with the brother, but like the brothers call him that, and so that's what Eric Andre thinks his name is. And he's like, with you, I can kind of understand because you're American, but he's Korean. He should know better.
Kind of weird, slightly related.
And then at the end, at the end of the
things.
beatdown, with Andre, he's just gonna be like, "Say my name, Chinu."
Walter White.
Yeah, you goddamn right.
Damn right.
After all, he is the one who knocks. All right. That being said,
it's true.
Let's get started. We have goofed around long enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
The prologue, Quagmire, the adventurer.
Oh no, hang on. Hold on. I forgot. If you want to suffer, then keep moving forward in life. If you want to enjoy yourself, then go in any other direction. After pain awaits true prosperity. Author Rudius Greyrat. Translation Jean R.F. Magol.
Wow.
Maggot.
I forgot that there was a thing that booted me right into the prologue.
Yeah. Maggot. Right, there we go.
Screaming eagles.
Anytime there's more than 2 animals together, it's called a zoo.
Unless it's a farm.
There we go. Yeah. Good.
Timeless shorts.
You will be missed. Where is sandwich?
Yeah. Sandwich make me strong.
What's that, sandwich? Kill them all? What a good idea!
You lean slightly into spy, just a little bit, but I was like, I
I've
like
yet
it.
to meet one who can outsmart Bullet.
Yeah. This is my weapon.
Who touched Sasha?
Who touched my gun? Yeah, there you go.
Touched dual cartridges at 10,000
Who touched my gun?
I do.
Remember the purpleized bit where it's like, "Hey, cue ball, you suck."
No.
Dear
Oh
God,
what just happened?
There's
I
more.
have
No.
a shotgun.
Is it that you want the bucket? Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Lazy purple. I caught that one. Thank you, Sonic.
yes, good.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, You told me to.
Good times.
I have done nothing but teleport bread for 3 days.
Brad, for that.
Where have you ordered?
been
I thought it was
spending,
4 days.
Sam? Yeah.
I love the hold they're fighting. I teleported bread.
As it's being flung like 2 miles.
That's
So-
okay.
That's a great
Let's
short.
go
I miss
back.
when they did those.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Anyway.
I am not one of your fried chicken floozies. I am a woman. Seduce me.
This is top tier voice acting. I love
This is-
TF2.
I love
They
TF2.
were.
It's
That's
so
so classic. It never.
What are you?
I mean, it's
president of his fan
timeless.
club? No.
That
will
would
be
be
your
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 mother.
mother.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
And now he's here to fuck us.
Fucking love that.
It could be you. It could
Yeah.
be
It could be
me.
me.
It could
It
even
It could even be.
What?
Whoa.
It was
hey.
obvious.
obvious.
He's the red
He's gonna
spy.
teleport.
Yeah.
See, he's
Watch,
gonna
he'll
turn
turn
red
red
any minute.
any second now.
There.
See?
Wait.
Red. Oh,
No.
wait, that's
Wait,
blood.
That's blood.
So we still have
So we
problem.
still got problem.
Yeah.
All right, guess we still gotta find this spy.
Right,
Right behind
behind
you.
And it's again
Oh,
just
oh, oh,
stabbing
oh, oh.
Wait,
noises.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not talking about that freak. He's not here, is he?
I
Is
feel
it-
no mad.
Yeah.
That thing.
Oh, that one.
What makes
that
me
one
a
was still
good
worth
demo
the wait.
man?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, we're going to have to stop and get back to the book. I swear.
Hey, buddy. I'm an engineer. That
Now,
means
what
I
is a
suck.
job and the other
No,
one's mental
no,
illness?
no, guys.
I'm
stop.
sorry.
Stop.
I'm sorry. I started
Book.
the tangent by screaming
Book.
screaming eagles. Anyway,
Book.
prologue. Quagmire, the adventurer.
Giggity, giggity, goo.
My name is Quagmire. Okay, sorry.
That's the no.
That was
My brain
Cleveland
had-
Brown.
My brain had like actual cognitive
He
dissonance.
does the bit though. He does that intro bit though in one episode, and then Cleveland's like, "No, the world."
Archimedes,
needs me."
get out of there. It's fizzy.
Oh my god, what happened? I actually took like 2 psychic damage. Like you were like da da da, and I was like expecting the lyrics, and my brain filled in the lyrics, and then you did like a sharp, like 90-degree turn into a wall, and my brain had to stop. I was like, oh, that wasn't the
Expecting
Cleveland Brown
Brown.
show.
My name
Yeah.
is Quag. No!
Yeah, so I was like, there's a visual representation of my brain laying down the bricks and then
But there's an
steering way
actual-
off the course into a river.
There is an actual scene where that happens in the
I'm
Cleveland
sure.
show.
But I have not seen that show. But so anyway,
That's fair. It's kind of
yeah.
I gave it a
Anyway.
shot, and it's like
Guys, you have
it's all right.
13 pages in this prologue that we have
Yes.
to get to before the night ends.
I'm-
So let's do
I will
it.
schmoove. I will schmoove.
Please schmoove.
Schmoove like the wind, schmool's eye.
Yes. Prologue. Quagmire, the adventurer. It had been 5 years since the calamity commonly known as the Fatoa region displacement incident. The liege lord of Fatoa, Sauros Boreas Greyrat, was dead, as was his son, Philip Boreas Greyrat, the mayor of the Citadel of Roa, and Philip's wife. Not long after, it was reported that Philip's daughter, Eris Boreas Greyrat, had died as well. As a result, the high-ranking minister Darius Silva Ganius cut off funding to the Fatoa's region's efforts to track down its missing citizens. While some individuals continued the search on their own, the search and rescue squad was officially disbanded. The refugee camps switched focus from searching for survivors to reclaiming their livelihoods. As far as the Syr Kingdom was concerned, the displacement incident was over. Those who'd experienced it firsthand, however, were far from done. Year 422 of the Armored Dragon, the Duchy of Basharant, a prominent country in the northwest of the central continent, was one of the 3 great magic nations. Its 3rd largest city was Pippin, and in this land lived an adventurer who had become the talk of the town. He was known on the streets as Quagmire. The man in question had been teleported a great distance during the displacement incident and spent several years trying to return to the Vitoa region. Upon his return, he, like many others, despaired at the disaster's aftermath. He traveled to the northern part of the central continent, also known as the Northern Territories, in search of a still missing family member, where he scoured each country in turn while working as an adventurer. Quagmire's mornings began early. As a deeply religious man, he was up before dawn to offer quiet prayer to a relic of his god, which was tucked away in a small box. But this was no sacrament in the Millis faith. In fact, those of the Millis faith would likely raise an eyebrow at the object of his worship. Regardless, he looked at the picture of piety with his head bent in prayer. After his morning prayers, Quagmire would change into athletic attire and run laps around the town. As he would say, I may be a magician, but before that, I'm an adventurer. An adventurer has to be able to move when the necessity arises. After about an hour of running, he would commence in a special training ritual from his hometown, the likes of which had never been seen in the Duchy of Boscherant. He would lie prone with his belly on the ground and lift himself by the arms, and he would do this 100 times. Then he would lie on his back and lift his upper body toward his knees another 100 times. When that was finished, he'd crouch and stand yet another 100 times. He did this routine daily without fail. My muscles get jealous. If I don't pay attention to them every day, they get all huffy with me, just like a woman. Although, unlike a woman, they won't just suddenly go off and disappear on me. Muscles don't betray you. Isn't that right, Hulk? Hercules? Quagmire, a man who had named his own body parts, would say this with a laugh, one that seemed a bit lonesome. Finishing his morning workout around the time the rest of the town was waking up, Quagmire headed to the cafeteria on the first floor of his inn for breakfast. Adventurers were said to eat to double or triple the portions of an average person. That said, food was expensive in the northern region, so many practiced moderation, but Quagmire was not one of them. He ate perhaps 20% more than most people did, devouring heaping bowls of cooked rice and bean dishes. A hearty breakfast was his source of power. After breakfast, he headed for the Adventurers Guild, a spot in the middle of the town where other rugged types gathered. Eyes turned to him as he entered. Quagmire didn't have a party of his own, preferring to team up with others on a case-by-case basis to tackle difficult missions. There was high demand for a magician as exceptional as Quagmire. As usual, their leader of an S-rank party hit him up today. Yo, Quagmire, did you hear? There's a red worm straggler up north. This was Soldat Heckler, an S-ranked adventurer. He was a man with deeply chiseled features, characteristic of those who lived in the north. He possessed advanced tier skills in the sword guard style and intermediate tier skills in the water guard style, and who was a famous adventurer in these parts. He had led a party known as Step Ladder, one of the many parties controlled by the clan Thunderbolt, which worked all across the lands of Boscherant. Step Ladder had 6 members: 2 swordsmen, 1 warrior, 2 healing magicians, and 1 offensive magician. They'd had 7 people at one point, but a magician had kicked the bucket. They were a bit low on firepower as a result, and Soldat would occasionally solicit Quagmire to join them for real. Hey, Quagmire, isn't it about time you became one of us for real? You're comfortable with working us, right? However, Quagmire would simply shake his head. No, now that I've gotten famous here, I'll be moving on to the next country soon. Quagmire was searching for his mother. He knew very well that finding a single person in this world, in a world this vast, 5 years since the displacement incident, was going to be a tough challenge. He'd elected to make a name for himself everywhere he went, meticulously scouring his surroundings as he worked from country to country, hoping that if he got famous enough, his mother might be the one to find him instead. Oh, but I will go with you to eliminate the red worm. Quagmire accepted Soldat's request. Successfully dispatching a dragon would add to his fame. This lined right up with his objectives. He promptly headed to the counter to register himself with the party. But it can't be just us, right? We're gonna go get more people together after this. This is our first big job in a long time. Everyone's all raring to go. Dragon slaying quests were always carried out by multiple parties. It would be tantamount to a suicide for a party to attempt it alone. This time, 5 parties had announced their intent to participate in the raid. They were the S-ranked party, Step Ladder; the A-ranked party, Rod Knights; the A-ranked party, Iron Cluster Core; the A-ranked party, Cave A Mond; the A-ranked party, The Drunkard's Nonsense. 25 adventures in total, a bit short of the 7 parties spread out over 40 people. That was a minimum recommended number for dragon slaying. Solo was getting flustered. At this rate, the quest was going to slip right through their fingers. Hey, this is a red worm we're talking about here. You're going to get 1,000 gold all in one go for a quest like this, so why aren't there more people? Aren't you all A-ranked? Where the hell are the other S-ranked parties? I heard a labyrinth was recently discovered in the east, someone volunteered. They probably all went to check it out. Another man sighed. We're going to drop out. There's no way this is going to work. The 4 members of Cave Amon withdrew, leaving them with 21 people. It seemed inevitable that the rest would follow suit, but just as everyone spoke up and was preparing to disband, Soldat spoke up. All right, 21 people, he declared with authority. That just means we each get a bigger cut. The gathered adventurers looked nervous, but none of them dared oppose his words. All 21 of them walked through the barren, snow-dusted land or the northern region. Trees had lost their leaves and their branches were peppered with white. Soon the long winter would begin. Quagmire, do some scouting for us. Sure. Following Soldat's orders, Quagmire conjured a pillar to boost him up in the air. Surveying their surroundings from his perch, he relayed what he saw. Red worms were huge. As long as they periodically scanned the area, there was no way they'd miss it. It seemed Quagmire had found something. Luster grizzlies coming in at 2 o'clock. There's a swarm of them. They're kicking up a huge cloud of snow. How many? 8. No, 10 of them. They've noticed us. They're headed straight for us. And fast. They weren't here to kill grizzlies. Their target was a redworm. And since there were so few of them, they couldn't afford to waste their energy fighting pointless monsters. Still, when your close caught fire, you had no choice but to stop, drop, and roll. Everyone scatter! Quagmire, come back down. Cover for us. Got it. At Soldat's order, the four parties spread out, planning to ambush the herd of monstrous bears as they moved in. Quagmire! Yep. On Soldat's command, Quagmire instantly conjured an incredibly sticky pool of mud before him. Just as his name implied, he was skilled at casting the Quagmire spell. The herd of grizzlies sloshed in the unexpected bog and their movement slowed. Now! The adventurers attacked as one. As you expect from warriors this highly ranked, they were swift, downing one beast after the other. It was kill or be killed, their lives or their enemies. No mercy was shown. However, when just a few of the grizzlies remained, a cry rose up. Hey, the red worm! It's coming! That's what the grizzlies were running from. Ugh. Hey, Quagmire, what the hell is this? You weren't slacking off, were you? I couldn't see it through the cloud of snow. Their plan had been to spot the worm from afar and launch a surprise attack. Instead, they'd been caught off guard by a surprise attack themselves. They didn't stand a chance. Red worms were normally flying creatures, but their strong limbs made them lighter on their feet than you might think. They were powerful foes even on the ground. Shit! Retreat! Retreat! Amid the chaos, Quagmire sprang into action. I'm going to cast a smoke screen. Everyone separate and run! Deep mist! Excuse me. Quagmire was calm. He wielded fire magic with practiced ease, melting snow to create a wall of water vapor, an impromptu smokescreen using the natural resources around him. The worm, however, was cunning. It was wise enough to identify the primary threat to it and eliminate them first, which meant that Quagmire was now its target. Gah! He ran in the opposite direction from his comrades. The enemy was focused on him, then it was his duty to use that to give his comrades time to flee. Quagmire was nimble, light on his feet, as he led the red worm in circles. His daily training was coming in handy. Fire ignited in the worm's mouth as it ran out of patience, and flames poured forth, bathing their surroundings in fire in the blink of an eye. This is one of the creature's unique skills, fire breath. A living creature caught in the trajectory would be fried to a crisp. So was Quagmire the dead then? No. He was still alive. He quickly conjured an enormous wall of water to protect himself, and was still moving, cutting through the curtain of water vapor rising through the air. Ignoring the embers singeing the edges of his robe, he created a stone cannon and launched his earthen bullet at high velocity. It pierced the worm's scales. The creature shrieked. Quagmire lobbed shots at the creature, one after the other. The red worm evaded several, but they were coming hard and fast, and eventually the creature turned tail and ran. It was a clever beast. It understood quickly that there was great power hidden within the small vessel that was Quagmire. Quagmire didn't pursue. Was he really going to let such perfect prey get away? For a moment, that seemed to be the case until the beast roared. It had run straight into the pool of goop from before, sinking fast in the sticky mud. As Quagmire channeled more mana into the swampy water, and as the worm struggled to break free, the goo clung to it even more firmly than before. Oh, it got stuck in there, Quagmire mumbled, sounding surprised as he finished the dragon with an enormous stone cannon. The air adventurers who had scattered when the chaos began returned one by one. Damn, Quagmire, you really are strong. Looks like it wasn't all talk when you said you traveled the demon continent. I always thought you were strong, but I can't believe you actually beat that thing. Quagmire, who knew arrogance spread discord, didn't let the praise go to his head. Well, it was already hurt anyway. Or it was already hurt. Anyway, help me butcher this thing and divide up the spoils. Everyone, take what you can. Uh, are you sure? You basically killed it all alone, you know? Nonsense. Besides, I can't carry all this alone. And if we leave it here, it'll attract other monsters. Take what you can and we'll burn the rest. We don't want it turning into a dragon zombie. With that, the quest that should have been a 7-day round trip that had been completed in a single day. Quagmire's share of the loot, scales, bones, and even meat from the red worm, sold for a small fortune. He returned to the inn with a full coin purse and ate a more modest meal than he usually did for breakfast, and then retired to his room, where the pious man gave thanks to his god for having made it safely through the day. This ritual of his would look peculiar to the uninitiated, but it was important to him. And so, Quagmire's day came to an end. Tomorrow, he would resume his search for his family once more. Ugh. Okay, hold on. Rudius. It happened when I was eating dinner at the pub one night. By myself, of course. Eating was a one person affair. I was alone and wealthy, but not lonely, okay? Not at all. I mean, if anything, hated crowds. It was then that the red worm appeared. 3 troubadours performed upon the pub stage. One stood in front and told the story in a clear bell-like tone, while the other 2 matched their music to his rhythm, throwing in sound effects here and there. Troubadour, a career where one stood on a stage, sang and played music for tips. Bigger towns, troubadours signed exclusive contracts with theaters. Many were adventurers who turned their experiences into song or composed epics from interesting tales they heard from others. The concept of copyright hadn't really made it to this world, so troubadours regularly rearranged each other's songs, even collaborated with each other on hybrid material. Some went so far as to team up with those who played different instruments and form a band to travel the world together. Of course, the ones who did so had some martial prowess too. Adventurers who could sing, dance, and fight. These were people that troubadours called, or these were the people what, excuse me, these were what people called troubadours in this world. I'd seen these three on stage before at the Adventurers Guild. They were a C ranked party called Big Boys Orchestra. Wonderful name that spoke to their desire for popularity. Unfortunately, their skills were a bit lacking. Despite that, they kept churning out new material and it even quizzed me extensively about the dragon slaying quest I completed several days ago. The song they were singing right now was based on that story, almost like a YouTuber with a excuse me, sorry, almost like a YouTuber with a song cover predictably titled "My Attempt at Blank." Wait, that's not quite right. I'm sorry, I had to take a pause because I read the word YouTuber in a light novel. I had to anyway. Music was never been my thing, even in my previous life. I'd once tried to create a song on Vocaloid, okay, but failed miserably. Since then, I told people the only instrument I could play was the Astra. Oh, and by play, I mean slapping my ass with both hands. What these troubadours were doing, creating something new based on what I told them and performing it, was something I could never do. Their skills might need polishing, but I had to acknowledge their creativity. Unfortunately, the group's lead was singing the tale of my adventure in a tone of voice that made them sound like an old village storyteller or the narrator of a documentary. I found it interesting, but the bland tone wasn't going so well with the rest of the audience. Someone jeered, calling it boring, demanding they play something else. That's cold, bro, especially when the protagonist of the song is sitting right here. Bam! The door of the pub swung open. Freezing air came billowing in. Everyone's gazes turned. My body shook. I finally found you, Rudius the Quagmire. The new arrival was an elf with long hair and thick ringlets. She had the look of an adventurer, but was garbed in a dress, with a backpack and a sword and a shield upon her hip. Her face was, in one word, beautiful. She had large, narrowed eyes, pointed ears, and radiant blonde hair. She was also incredibly thin, with a flat chest. Did I mention the ears? She was truly the perfect picture of an elf. And she was pointing at me. Everyone's eyes turned my way. Yeah, so you were here after all, Quagmire. The guy who jeered earlier looked disgusted, but I considerately ignored him. I was generous after all. So you finally found me, eh? I said nonchalantly to the elf, even though I had no idea who the heck she was. I hadn't done anything in the past few years that might give someone a reason to hold a grudge against me. I'd help people, avoided fights, and be careful not to attract the wrong kind of attention. This was the first time a beautiful woman had sought me out, and but maybe I'd done enough general good that people were now seeking me out to give thanks. Somehow I didn't think that was it. You stick out like a sore thumb, just like I was told you would. I found you immediately. Wait, you said finally just a second ago, didn't you? I thought you would be further east, she said, her beautiful eyes staring straight at me. For some reason, there was drool trickling from her mouth. She licked it away. What, had she fallen for me instantly? Was her mouth watering at the sight of the athletic physique I'd recently built up? Well, I had been getting fit lately. Plus, I was right in the middle of puberty. It's starting to bulk up. What's wrong? No, no, nothing at all. The elf woman cleared her throat and took a seat beside me. The pub erupted into oohs and ahs. I heard people whisper, "To think Quagmire had a woman all this time." I couldn't believe it either. It was enough of a shock to bring tears to my eyes. Phew. She put her backpack down and noisily scooted her chair towards me. She was close. I mean, really close. Close enough that if I were a virgin, I might have mistakenly thought she liked me. It's dangerous, miss. If you fall for me, you'll get burned. My name is Alina Lise Dragonroad. I'm your father Paul's former party member. Was it Paul's friend, huh? So that was it. She'd probably come bearing some kind of message. And I'm also Roxy's friend. What? My teacher? Where is she? I leaned forward in my seat, excited to hear someone else say Roxy's name for the first time in a long time. Praying to her had been the only thing keeping me going these past few years. More importantly, instead of answering the number one question on my mind, Helena Lise leaned close enough to kiss me and put her lips to my ear. I had heard you killed the red worm all by yourself, didn't you? Yeah, well, it was basically a death story anyway. Now I understand why Roxy was so proud of you. Well, it hadn't been an easy fight. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say it had been at the least room for error of all the requests I'd taken in these past few years. It still paled in comparison to my confrontation with the dragon god Orsted, though. Once you experience something that extreme, you'd found yourself being strangely calm about other things by comparison. Excuse me. I'm tickled pink to. Oh, hold on. I'm tickled pink to hear my teacher's been boasting about me. No, that actually tickles. What are you doing? Touching your chest. You're very strong. Elena Elise was fingering my upper arms and chest. Still, it wasn't a bad feeling being told how strong I was. Her finger brushed the pendant Lily had given me. My, how quaint. Who gave you this? Uh, our maid. Maid? Are they an elf? Huh? No, they're not. My, why are you asking about that? I asked, or I said. Whoops, now I was even talking like her. That's not important. Lena Least didn't seem bothered by my slip up. She showed me the sheath that had been hanging from her hip. It had a pendant attached to it with the same shape as mine, albeit far more elaborately made. An amateur had made mine, while hers was clearly crafted by crafted by someone skilled. We match, she said, snuggling up against me. She'd been awfully touchy since she'd walked in. What's going on here? Do you actually like me? Yes, you're a good man. More so than I anticipated. I'm surprised. I thought you'd be more of a child, but you're so muscular. It's wonderful. She was probably just messing with me, but it kind of got my heart thumping. Uh, heh, you're quite beautiful yourself, miss. I wasn't going to get all flustered like some kind of virgin. I slid my finger under her chin and tilted it up. When I did so, she softly closed her eyes as she were waiting for a kiss. As I started to wonder just what kind of joke this was, her hand slipped around the back of my head. But seriously? I was definitely feeling some sexual vibes here, but is that okay? Was I really free to give her a big sloppy smooch? The moment I thought about that, her eyes flew open. Oh no, I can't. Shame on me. Please don't tease me like that, I complained. I do not tease men, but I also have no intention of becoming Paul's daughter, and I want to continue being Roxy's friend too. What? What the hell? So she and the rest of the party have fought with Paul before they split up a long time ago, and as a result, she couldn't bring herself to date his son? Well, whatever. Didn't matter. Had no intention of dating anyone ever again, or anyone again, anytime soon. So then, Miss Alina Lease, do you have some business with me? Yes, I brought you good news. Good news? Alina Lease grinned at me. That was the day I learned that the Zenith's whereabouts had been confirmed. Okay, so that was the prologue. Yes.
That's where we're gonna stop there, guys. We're gonna call
Yes.
it there for the prologue.
Mhm.
Unless you want to
All
keep going
right.
unless you want to keep going to 10:30 and just read all of chapter 1, but I figure probably best
That's
to. Is
that's a
that a
big
hard
chunk.
nope? That's a hard nope.
I mean, I
there.
could, but it's like that's a
Okay,
big
1, 2,
chunk. I don't know
3,
how
4,
long
5,
this
6, 7,
chapter
8,
is.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
20 pages.
that. Yeah, that sounds like over 20.
Yeah. Okay, so it's page 48 is where chapter 2 is.
Uh
And if
huh.
I've done my math right, which it does not appear
Math.
that I have.
Mm.
No. Okay. Okay, so it's more than 20 pages. 24 to 48.
Mm.
So that would be 24 pages in total.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to be able to do 24 pages in the short amount of time that we have
Not
left.
at that time, and I'd rather save it for Moon
All right.
to
We will
to let
get
him showcase his voice too. So
we will get started
not gonna what.
properly. We will get started properly with
Alina Elise.
well with
Sorry, I
volume
like her name.
7. Linelise. Yeah.
Alina Elise.
We'll get started properly with volume 7 next time around. So we'll be back next week for that. And
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Yep.
And bye.
Thanks for coming.
Now.
See you
Bye.
around.
Oh, should we plug our things just in case, or
If you want.
I guess it might have been, yeah.
If you want.
But yeah. Thanks for coming to the stream, everyone. Everyone can plug their details. Once again, my name is Shem Shem. I am streaming with Richie Roberts, Moonlight Sparks, and Stungo Velocity, also known as Sonic. Please give them your plugs, gentlemen.
Moon.
Oh, he's muted.
While he's getting back, you're like, you can
not
find
yet.
me
No,
over
I'm
on Twitter,
Okay.
on Twitch, and on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I too am on Twitter and Twitch. I do have a YouTube channel, but it doesn't really have much on it except for a small Minecraft series that didn't go anywhere. Um,
Yet.
but yeah, I stream on Tuesdays on my Twitch channel, and I try to do some other days, but I mostly got to work, so yeah.
And you can catch
Yep.
him here on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yep, that too.
Mhm.
Right now, you're watching Haikyuu. You'll be starting season 4 this week. That's cool. Um, if you want to find stuff from me, just check out all the Fat Dog social media or our channels. That's basically where I am most of the time. I will be streaming on my own channel, Richie Roberts 16, because I am trying to do one major thing, which is raise the money to get the AC in my car fixed.
Oh,
It's been a
yeah.
thing that's been meaning to happen for a while, and today was a very hot day, and I can't just be constantly having the windows down while I'm trying to listen to stuff in my car, because especially on the interstate, it's no bueno having the windows down in the interstate because you can't hear shit. Yeah, it's not fun. That being said,
Ugh.
though, guys, that's it for us. We'll see you next time. Take care and bye
Mhm.
bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.